It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the Falling Walls Lab Greece 2025 here in Patras. We're honored to host this inspiring event, which brings together bright young innovators, researchers, and entrepreneurs to share their ideas and can break down walls in science and society. Thank you all for joining us today, our distinguished guests, presenters, and audience. Now we will begin with the welcoming speeches. We will start with the opening reading, which will be delivered remotely by Professor Nikolaos Papaioannou, Deputy Minister of Education, Religious and Sports. Please, Professor Papaioannou.
Κύριε Υφυπουργέ, it is mute, please. Δεν σας ακούμε, συγγνώμη, δεν σας ακούμε.
Τώρα με ακούτε?
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Καλημέρα κύριε Υφυπουργέ. Σας
Καλημέρα.
ακούμε.
Καλημέρα σας.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ για τη συμμετοχή σας.
Dear Rector of Hellenic Open University, dear Professor Kalavrousiotis, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It is a great pleasure to greet all of you in Patras at the Falling Walls Lab Greece, an inspiring forum where students, researchers, and young scholars have the opportunity to share their groundbreaking ideas and present their innovative research. First of all, I would like to thank the President of the Organizing Committee, Professor Ioannis Kalavrousiotis, a very good friend of mine, for his kind invitation and also express my wholehearted support for this important event, made possible thanks to the fruitful collaboration of academic institutions, scientific organizations, and international partners. Over the years, Falling Walls Lab has established itself as one of the most prestigious international pitch competitions, where young innovators from all over the world come together to challenge existing boundaries of knowledge. Hosted this year by the Hellenic Open University in Patras and organized with the valuable contribution of the German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, which is well known, this event is a clear demonstration of how Greek universities can cultivate excellence and foster global cooperation. As Deputy Minister of Education and responsible for higher education in Greece, but also as a professor and former rector, I am especially proud of the exceptional talent of our young scientists and researchers. From my academic experience, Greek students have nothing to envy from their peers around the globe. Dear students and participants, your brilliant minds do not only bring recognition to Greece, you are also key drivers of our national development. Your work in fields ranging from technology and medicine to social innovation and sustainability contributes to strengthening our knowledge economy and creating new opportunities for growth. By investing in your skills, by supporting your creativity, and by ensuring that your ideas can flourish, we invest directly in the future of Greece. I am confident that this year's lab will once again showcase the ingenuity and talent of Greek. Sorry, because it's. Sorry, it was another minister. Regardless of today's outcome, each of you is already a winner for daring to share your vision. I wish the best of luck to all of you, and I sincerely hope that the winner here in Patras will go on to become the winner of the Global Falling Walls Lab, finally this November in Berlin. Believe in yourself, just as much as we believe in you. Thank you so much for this kind invitation.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister of the Minister of Education, Religious and Sports, Professor Nikos Papayanu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, we will watch a recorded greeting from Mr. Stavros Kalafatis, Deputy Minister of Development, Ministry of Development.
Students, researchers, members of the Greek and German academic and business communities, ladies and gentlemen. The heart of innovation beats today here in Patra. I welcome your event and congratulate the organizers for this initiative, which proves that science, research and innovation are the key to our future. It is a survival culture for the dynamic development of economy, the support of society, industry and business. The innovation competition brings together pioneering young scientists and entrepreneurs from the Greek and German academic communities, the most innovative minds of our time, helping them to promote their ideas and to develop collaborations, building a global network and a sustainable innovation community. As the Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, often underlines, no research fulfills its social purpose unless its results are transformed into innovative solutions. Only then competitiveness of the economy is enhanced and along with it the prosperity of citizens. The Choose Europe for Science initiative is well known, through which Europe sent a strong message in favor of freedom and in scientific research so that it can become a magnet for researchers. The Greek government is moving in this same direction with the Ministry of Development strategy. We strengthen the performance of businesses and research centers in research and innovation and upgrade infrastructures. Step by step, we create a supportive environment for new talents with the National Strategy for Research and Innovation for Smart Specialization 2021-2027 and with the creation of new jobs in artificial intelligence, industry, health, digital transformation, and many other industries of the future that serve as incubators of talent. At the same time, we give young people the opportunity to create their own startups and to secure state funding through the body we established, Elevate Greece. We bring forward the world of the future, which is already present. In this context falls our recent collaboration with OpenAI to utilize artificial intelligence tools in education and to accelerate Innovation Plus 07. We secure a better future for all young scientists with new opportunities and prospects. We pave the way for Greece to become internationally competitive and a hub of research, technology and innovation. With these thoughts, I wish every success to all participants in this year's Falling Walls Lab competition, with the hope that your ideas will qualify to be presented at the World Final in Berlin. We will follow your efforts. My sincere congratulations.
Now I'm delighted to invite Professor Manolis Koutouzis, Rector of Hellenic Open University, for a short address.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Dear ministers, dear colleagues, our distinguished guests, and friends of innovation science and friends of the Hellenic Open University. First of all, let me just apologize for not being there in Patras today, but some meetings that have to take place here in Athens require me to be here in Athens. I apologize for that. It is a great pleasure and honor to welcome you today to the Falling Walls Lab Greece, hosted by our university. I must admit that I didn't know much about falling walls when I first discussed that with Professor Kalavrziotis. But when I agreed to host that, I felt that I had to do some research in order to find out about the falling walls. And I must admit that by searching, I became a little bit more informed, but mainly I was really excited. I realized that the falling walls is not just a competition. It's not a competition. It's mainly a platform for expression of young scientists, researchers, professionals who dare to envision solutions and who dare to express in public their ideas and being challenged. So in just 3 minutes, participants are invited to present ideas, thoughts that, well, you never know, they may change the world or part of the world. That by itself is really exciting, is really exciting. So as director of the Hellenic Open University, I am really proud that our university, in collaboration with DAD, contributes to the formation of international ecosystem of innovation and scientific excellence. And for our university, you know, it's a great opportunity to demonstrate the talent and the creativity of our students, the researchers, and other students and researchers here in Greece. And that by itself is, you know, a way or a step to extraversion, which is part of what we're trying to do here in the Hellenic Open University. Let me just share some thoughts, concluding my short speech. I realized, you know, looking at the falling walls and trying to understand the whole concept, I realized that the goals of the falling walls and the goals of our university are somehow identical. Falling walls refers to the historic moment of, you know, the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, a moment that marked not only the reunification of the country, but also, and that's important, the overcoming of division, the collapse of walls that kept people's ideas and visions separated. Now, if you think about our university and its goals and its mission, it's somehow identical. Our university, the Hellenic Open University, 25 years ago was established having openness as its main goal and its main characteristic. The idea of open, unrestricted access to education, providing opportunity to everyone, was at the center of our university. So 25 years later, we do not forget that here at the Hellenic Open University, and we are here to continue to serve openness and to serve, if you want, you know, demolishing the barriers that keep people away, or obstacles that keep people away from education. So I would say that our university, Hellenic Open University, can only support. There's no other way for us but support these actions, these ideas, which are somehow, as I said, identical to falling walls. Therefore, I would like to warmly thank all the participants, the organizers, Professor Kalavrziotis, DAD in Greece. Thank you very much for your cooperation. All the partners, the German embassy, for their presence and support. I wish all the contestants good luck. You never know, your ideas may change the world, education, research, or whoever or whatever you may feel that you can change. Anyway, I hope that the ideas presented today will be sparks of change generally, and inspiration for the future. Once again, Thank you very much. I wish everyone, all participants, every success. Have a good morning, everyone.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your valuable message support. Now it is my great pleasure to invite to the stage Mr. Haralambos Bonanos, Deputy Governor of the region of Western Greece.
Thank you. Dear Ministers, Professor Kalavrziotis, thank you for your kind invitation. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the region of Western Greece to the Falling Walls Lab Greece, a competition that celebrates creativity and bold thinking. Today, we honor innovation, research, and startup culture, bringing together young people with visions capable of changing the world. The institution, co-organized by the Hellenic Open University and the German Academic Exchange Service, highlights initiatives that push the boundaries of knowledge, bridge science and cultures, and create solutions with social and economic impact. The region of Western Greece supports every action that gives space to the new generation and promotes innovation, utilizing funding tools such as the Western Greece 2021-2027 program, through which 71 million euros will gradually be allocated to improve efficiency in production and to support startup initiatives in terms of innovation, extroversion, and digital enhancement. Dear participants, keep daring and collaborating so that we may enjoy the originality, fresh thoughts, and ideas of yours, which I'm confident will become seeds for a more sustainable future. Thank you very much, and good luck to all participants.
Thank you very much, Deputy Governor. Now we will then continue with the video.
Services. It's a great pleasure for me, both as Secretary General for Research and Innovation and as a scientist, to witness such important initiatives taking place. Initiatives aimed at strengthening research through the promotion of innovative ideas by students and young professionals. After all, we all know that research is the foundation for the generation of new knowledge, and it is upon this new knowledge that innovation is built. The Greek government, recognizing this truth, has been striving over the past 6 years to improve the research environment by investing even more in it. Investing in research also means investing in quality education, which enables universities and research centers to train young scientists, develop new technologies, and ultimately create innovation, with the aim of making our country more competitive on an international level. Ladies and gentlemen, in the current programming period 2021-2027, there are increased funding opportunities for research and innovation actions through the activation of European financial instruments. The General Secretariat for Research and Innovation has already secured 500 million euros from the Recovery and Resilience Facility Fund for investments in research and innovation. This money will support the construction of new buildings, upgrading of existing research infrastructures, procurement of new state-of-the-art equipment, and implementation of new research programs. At the same time, I would like to highlight that our General Secretariat as the competent authority for formulating and implementing the National Strategy for Research and Innovation, has already designed a series of strategic interventions, including the flagship action Research Innovate, with a total public budget of 300 million euros. What are we aiming to achieve with this action? To generate new knowledge, to develop innovative products and services, to create new jobs, and of course to bring academia closer to the market. In parallel, the General Secretariat for Research and Innovation is strengthening international cooperation with key strategic partners such as Germany, China, and Cyprus, as well as multilateral partnership in cutting-edge areas such as co-funding European partnerships. Our goal is the transfer of know-how to and from the national ecosystem and the promotion of research at all levels. In addition, we have implemented other initiatives, including support for technology transfer offices 2021-2027 with a public budget of 25 million euros, aimed at utilizing research results produced in public research organizations in priority sectors of the National Smart Specialization Strategy. The new action, Competence Centers, and continuation of the initiative from the previous programming period 2014-2020, with a public budget of 20 million euros. This action will support existing structures and create new ones in areas not previously covered. It is well known that many universities participate as partners in these structures. The support for national research infrastructures under the NSRF 2021-2027. The process is currently in the second phase of proposal evaluation. Furthermore, I would like to share some thoughts on the National Research Strategy, which is set to place special emphasis not only on promoting excellence and producing high-level research, but also on the commercialization of research results. Our objectives include increasing R&D expenditure as a percentage of GDP, as well as maximizing the positive impact of research outcomes on the Greek economy and society. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 6 years, the Greek administration has created a dynamic innovation ecosystem, strengthening the connection between the research and business sectors. We are providing incentives for young scientists to remain and work in our country or to return and contribute if they have gone abroad. In these directions, we legislated the spin-offs at universities and research centers, offering an outlet for scientific knowledge. As I said before, we supported technology transfer offices, ensuring that research does not remain unused on the shelves, but makes its way into the market. We also introduced very generous tax incentives for angel investors and for the commercial use of patents. We established significant tax incentives for companies investing in innovation or collaborating with research organizations and or engaging in R&D expenditure. The tax deduction for such expenditure is 250%, serving as a strong incentive for university-industry cooperation. Furthermore, we introduced a golden visa for investments in startups and spin-offs. We achieved so far, between 2019 and 2023, R&D expenditure increased by 20%. Ladies and gentlemen, discussions on the future of research funding in Europe have already begun, although no final decisions have yet made. In recent years, Greece has performed exceptionally well in certain pillars of the Horizon Europe program, while in others there is room for improvement. However, I believe it is worth emphasizing that as a research community, we must focus more on actions under the European Research Council the European Innovation Council, and the Marie Curie actions. I want to assure you that the GSRI will stand as your ally in this effort. In conclusion, as a government, we actively support our researchers and startups because an innovative and developing Greece is our priority. My greatest optimism comes from the young people, their freshness, strength, and dreams for a creative Greece. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to wish that today's winners of the Greek Falling Walls Lab, who will qualify for the global final in Berlin on November 7th, may go on to become the overall winner. Congratulations on your effort. Thank you very much again for the invitation.
Now I'm pleased to invite to the stage Ms. Bettina Weivel, Cultural and Press Officer of the German Embassy in Athens.
Yeah, dear Deputy Governor Bonanos, dear Professor Koutouzis, dear Vasiliki Frenzou, distinguished participants, jury members, and panelists, dear guests. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, the return of the Falling Walls Lab Greece after a far too long absence. Breakthrough thinking and innovative spirit will be showcased right here in Patras in a cooperation with the German Academic Exchange Service and the prestigious Hellenic Open University. The Falling Walls Lab represents something truly extraordinary in the landscape of academic and professional development. This global interdisciplinary pitch competition doesn't just showcase talent, it cultivates it, it nurtures it, and launches it onto the world stage. For over a decade, this initiative has been connecting disciplines, cultures, and continents, creating a vibrant ecosystem where the most pressing challenges of our times meet the most innovative solutions for tomorrow. The caliber of the jury committee and the panel reflects the great significance of today's event. We are very honored to have with us leaders from industry, media, arts, education, research. Your presence here today, dear jury members and panelists, underscores the vital connection between academic innovation and real-world application, between breakthrough research and societal transformation. But what makes today particularly special is the exceptional quality we see before us. 13 remarkable applicants don't just promise incremental change, they promise to shatter conventional thinking, to break down walls, and to build bridges to a better future. And all that in only 3-minute presentations. Thus, regardless of today's outcome, dear participants, you have already achieved something substantial. You've identified problems worth solving, developed solutions worth sharing, and found the courage to stand before peers and experts to advocate for your vision. These skills, critical thinking, clear communication, resilience in the face of scrutiny, these skills are the tools that will serve you throughout your careers, whether in academia, industry, or business. So let's get started with breaking down walls of doubt that prevent us from attempting ambitious solutions, walls of convention that limit our imagination, walls of isolation that prevent innovative minds from connecting and collaborating. A very warm thank you to all of you for your commitment and contribution to the Falling Walls Lab Greece, and every success to the candidates on their way to the global final in Berlin in November. We are looking forward now to a great competition and to listening to inspiring, mind-extending ideas. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this inspiring address. Finally, I'm warmly invite to the stage Ms. Vasiliki Frenzou, Director of DAD Greece.
Dear Deputy Governor Bonanos, dear Rector Koutouzis, dear Bettina Weivel, dear Professor Kalavrousiotis, esteemed guests, panelists, jury members, dear participants, dear guests. On behalf of the German Academic Change Service and our information office in Athens, I greet you and welcome you cordially to Falling Walls Lab Greece 2025. We are so thrilled for today's competition, a really one-of-a-kind opportunity for brilliant young minds to present their innovative ideas on a global platform like Falling Walls Lab. Who is going to present a groundbreaking project and break the next wall, winning the golden ticket for the global final in Berlin? We are so glad to have our honored members of the jury committee with us here today. Thank you so much for being here, for accepting our invitation, and for sharing your expertise on selecting and evaluating the participants and the winner. A detailed insight on the current status of the innovation level in the Greek academia and research will be gladly shared by experts of the field on an exciting panel discussion. We thank our panelists very much for accepting our invitation, for coming here. And I would also like, in the name of the DAD Greece, to extend our warmest gratitude to Hellenic Open University, to our partners, to Amalia Seferiade, member of the organizational committee, as well as, of course, our firm partner of our office, Professor Ioannis Kalavrousiotis, who happens also to be a DAD alumnus. We're very obliged to you for making this event today to happen here in our big co-partner, the Hellenic Open University. The DAD promotes international cooperation and networking in education and science, and supports science and contributing responsibly to a sustainable future, to peace, and to international understanding. These values, along with healthy competition and creativity, meet the high standards also of the Falling Walls labs all around the world, currently taking or having taken place in 100 countries. We are proud that this year also participants from Greece will make it to Berlin, and we can't wait to witness the breathtaking experience of performing and selecting the winner. Good luck and enjoy every minute of the lab. It will be a one lifetime experience for you, and I really hope that you will enjoy it, all of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all our distinguished speakers for their valuable messages and support. Now we can watch a short video about DADE.
Some of these solutions are super out of the box. Every session, I get a different and a new idea.
Innovation happens here, and to see that starting and supporting it, I think that's relevant for society.
You see everybody's faces. They're in the room because they love science the same amount as you. They want to change the world. They want to make a difference. It was amazing.
And to see young and inspired people who are ready to face the challenges that we are posing to ourselves and that the world is posing to us is really, really giving me an optimistic feeling for today.
The world needs more science engagement because the problems that face us, we don't have the solutions to, but science alone can't do it. Science has to take citizens with it.
That passion and commitment that people have, that care about the environment, and I think that came through with all 21 of the presentations today.
First of all, I was really excited about talking about my solution. Then I felt nervous, but then supportive community made me feel relaxed. I feel great, very great.
You see me fully engaged and fully excited. It was a very vibrant atmosphere we have experienced.
There's a lot of people who is like, hey, I want to know more because I want to do this also in my country or in my community.
I'm excited to now connect with them and share ideas and bring their great ideas to the States and hopefully transfer some of our ideas into places that I would have never thought of yesterday.
I'm very impressed with the level of knowledge, I think, from the entrepreneurs. They've been working on this for years, and so I think that's very unique.
Seeing so many talented, passionate people all coming together to try to make a difference and do good is incredibly encouraging.
You know, being an entrepreneur, you spend 99% of your time in your own bubble with your problem, and it's really wonderful when you can come together with other people who are going through the same thing.
Being part of today is a very big recognition sign that I'm doing the right thing.
Now we'll continue with a panel discussion on the topic Innovation in Higher Education and Research in Greece, current status and prospects. It is my honor to introduce our distinguished panelists, Professor Emerita Vaso Kindi, President of State Scholarship Foundation, Dr. George Nounesis, President of National Council for Research, Technology and Innovation, Professor Vasilios Loukopoulos, President and CEO of Patras Science Park, Professor Ioannis Kalavrousiotis, former president of the Hellenic Open University and EADE alumnus, who will also moderate this panel. So we look forward to their insights.
Thank you, Mrs. Isari. Dear Deputy Ministers, Professor Papaioannou and Professor Kalafatis, dear Vice Governor of Region of Western Greece, Dr. Bonanos, dearest Rector of Hellenic Open University, Professor Koutouzis, dear General Secretary of Research and Innovation, Ministry of Development, Dr. Anastasios Gaitanis, dear Bettina Wewel from Cultural and Press Officer for German Embassy in Athens, dear Ilian Otherkadzel, it's very difficult for me, from German Chamber of Industry and Commerce in Athens, dear guests, dearest Emerita Professor Vaso Kindi, which is the president of the State Scholarships and Foundation Board, IKI, in Greece. Dear professors, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Foiling Walls Lab in Greece is a co-organization of the DAD, German Academy Exchange Service, and the Hellenic Open University. I would like to thank you to DAAD staff in Greece, Mrs. Fredzou, head of the office in Athens, and Mrs. Lia Goudousaki and Mrs. Bagladzi from the excellent cooperation we had together with his own collaborators, Dr. Ekavi Isari and Mrs. Amalia Seferiadi, as well as the staff of the Hellenic Open University who helped with our event today. In the organizing committee of this year's Falling Walls Lab Greece, we decided to invite three important scientists from the fields of higher education and research at the beginning of this important competition process to see what the current state of innovation in our country is, but mainly what prospects are opening up in the future. You certainly know that innovation is neither a simple differentiation in a product or service, nor a successful scientific experiment in a laboratory or a publication in a reputable scientific journal, but the product or service that will successfully enter the market, creating jobs after a lot of hard work, struggle, human and financial investment based on successful scientific experiments or even on modern business models. So, where is Greece on the path to innovation? This is a very good question. Greece has very low performance in the third pillar of Horizon Europe, which concerns innovative entrepreneurships. And furthermore, according to the European Innovation Scoreboard 2024, it is ranked 20th among the 27 member states for the sixth consecutive year. Explain very well later, maybe. In particular, in 2024, it was in a penultimate position in the group of countries with moderate innovation performance. What does this mean? On the other hand, significant European funding flows into the country from Horizon Europe actions, while equally important projects result from co-funded actions such as Research Innovate. This is the one hand. On the other hand, however, the high quality results of the programs rarely result in innovation that is in the market. There is a serious problem here. For these issues we have with us today the President of the State Scholarships Foundation Board Emerita Professor Vaso Kindi to discuss the issue of innovation in our country, whether we can give a good message to young scientists. For the other, second, it is Dr. George Nunesi, is the President of the National Council for the Research, Technology and Innovation in Greece. And the last guest in this table is Professor and my colleague many years, Dr. Vasilis Loukopoulos. Now it's the President of the Science Park Patra. Good morning, and thank you to accept my invitation to participate here. And pleased to start our discussion with the Emerita Professor, the President of IKI, Mrs. Vaso Kindi. Professor Kindi, please, can you give us an outline of the actions of the State Scholarships Foundations in Greece regarding funding for new doctoral candidates, and what exactly do we expect from them? Please.
Thank you very much for the invitation, first of all, Professor Kalavrousiotis, and to Ms. Frenzou from DEADE in Greece. I come here as the president of IKI. That's a very old institution in Greece. It was founded in 1951, and ever since it has supported thousands of students to study both abroad and in Greece. We have multiple programs of scholarships, both for undergraduate studies and studies in graduate studies, both abroad and in Greece. And obviously we have doctoral programs. And what do we expect from them? Formally, we expect that they will complete their dissertations. But more broadly, let's say, for those students who study abroad, we not only expect that they advance their academic education, but also to establish valuable connections and networks, also to be able to transfer these experiences back to Greece and enrich our research ecosystem and act as bridges with the international community. We also expect from them that they broaden their horizons, see how top universities operate, how cutting edge research is conducted, and how other societies are organized, and bring these experiences back to Greece. So not only as scholars, but also as citizens, we expect them to enrich our culture. Now, as regards the doctoral scholarships we give to students in Greece, we expect from giving these scholarships that the Greek universities will be strengthened, that we retain our human capital in Greece, advance our research ecosystem, and keep talent in Greece. And that's, I think, very important, together with other measures that we can take to enhance research and innovation in our country.
Thank you very much, Professor Kidi. And before to ask the second question, it is to explain to the guests, the ladies and gentlemen here, that Vaso Kidi is Emerita Professor of Philosophy at the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens in Greece. She holds a bachelor's degree in chemistry. We have similar topics, yeah. And a PhD in philosophy of history of science. And now, Professor Kidi is the president of the State Scholarships Foundation in Greece. The second question is, do you think that funding thought of scholarships for young scientists is sufficient to increase innovation in our country? If not, what exactly do you have to suggest? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, I think that just giving scholarships to students is not sufficient to enhance and encourage innovation. Of course, by giving these scholarships, we manage somehow to remove or diminish the financial barriers that exist, and encourage more students to pursue scientific careers and do research. But that's not enough, obviously. We have to do many other things. For instance, have research infrastructure, have sustained funding for research at different levels. Also to have mentoring, established technology transfer bureaus at universities, care for intellectual property, have legislation and policies about certain focus areas that we have, we need to enhance. So all these are needed, but in particular about Greece, I think we should change in general the mentality, I would say, towards research, because now perhaps because we don't have sustained funding, probably because we had all this financial crisis recently, researchers mostly pursue funding from European institutions just to get by. So they don't focus on particular areas of research, and they, as a colleague would say, used to say, that they produce mostly research for papers. They don't so much engage in the kind of research that can be translated into innovative products. So I think that we need to focus in particular areas where Greece has a comparative advantage, I think, and encourage researchers to concentrate their research there and provide funding on a regular basis, so that we can translate this research into innovation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Kidi, for to answer these questions. It's very interesting.
Thanks.
I think for all the participants today. And please, the second guest here, the table is Dr. George Nunes. Is the president of National Council for Research, Technology and Innovation. Dr. Nunes is a partner at East Young, Greece, for emerging tech, the defense innovation, and he is also the chair of the National Council of Greece for Research, Technology and Innovation. In July 2025, he completed his second 4-year term as director and chairman of the board of the National Center for Scientific Research. We have a similar to finish in Democritus Institute. Yeah. He studied physics at the National Decapodistrian University of Athens, and then his PhD from the School of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Minnesota, USA. Since 2002, he has been director of research at the Biomolecular Physics Lab of Democritus. And he has also served as a visiting professor at the Department of Chemistry at the University of Bordeaux. Yeah. Okay? Yep. Thank you very much. And please to continue with your questions here. Dr. Nunes' Democritus is one of the largest research centers in Greece, where innovation is of great importance for research. Do you think that innovation has potential for development in our country, and how will this be achieved? Please.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, I think. First of all, I must say thank you very much for inviting me here. Falling Walls is a great organization, and I hope Greece in the future will embrace it even more, because it can give incredible opportunities and bring together incredible ideas. And that's what scientific discovery today has to perform on. So I must say that I accepted to chair the National Council for Research, Technology and Innovation last June. And I really have big aspirations about how things can change, and a few big announcements that took place this last summer paved the way of what's going to happen the next couple of years. And I think this gives us some hope, I would say. As you mentioned it before, Greece is not performing well in innovation. Even research-wise, even though we are pretty proud about doing well with the first two pillars of Horizon programs and attracting quite a few grants to this country, if you look at the qualitative characteristics of the research profiles of our country, they're not so exciting. We don't perform well when it comes to research excellence, like European Research Council grants, the Marie Curie fellowships, and of course, we are I must say, actually dead last in successes with the European Innovation Council, which is the European Venture Capital Fund, funding startups in technology across Europe. Only 3 companies, only 3 startups from Greece have made it through EIC so far. Bulgaria, which is just above us, has already succeeded with 9. To give you an idea how much we've fallen behind. 2 of the 3 startups that have been selected by EIC, one of them raising 53 million euros a year ago, are at Demokritos. There are actually operating at Demokritos at the research center that I've been the director for the last 8 years. So that gives me an idea of how things must proceed. So I said two major announcements happened last summer. The first came from Europe, from the European Commission, following the Draghi report. Now Europe focuses on what they're going to be calling technological competitiveness. So what does it mean? It means focusing on areas of emerging and disruptive tech. AI. This is one of the fields that there's going to be huge focus. AI, not only in the fashion of generative AI that pretty much we get accounted, but infusion of artificial intelligence in all the scientific fields that we curate, whether it is energy, advanced materials, telecommunications, the works. So AI is one of the critical emerging technologies we have to focus. The second one is biotech. The third one is space and all the technologies around space. Space is becoming a huge opportunity for economies, for societies, for geopolitical changes, and there must be very, very strong focus there. And the fourth pillar, the fourth critical emerging tech that's been outlined by EU is quantum computing. Quantum computing is coming strong, much faster than any of us has ever anticipated, and is going to disrupt everything, especially when the engagement between quantum computers and AI will happen. Of course, things are going to be thought very, very differently, starting from cryptography and going all the way to drug discovery. So 4 emerging critical technologies. That's one goal of the European Commission, that Greece has to align ourselves with that. The second is startups at the driver's seat. This is what's going to be for competitiveness. We have to be able to attract back to the continent all the venture capital, the technology venture capital that left this continent 20 years ago. It has to come back. It has to give us the boost we need to compete with China and the United States. So startups will be at the front seat of the programs, of the policies, of the developments. And the third thing that is going to happen is that all these things are happening for the prosperity of the European people, but also for the safety of the European people as well. And the geopolitical changes are now mandating that we put on the table issues of security and defense. So research, the next years, scientific research, scientific discovery, technological progress will be addressing important security and important defense issues. And academics, along with startups, along with big industry, we all have to collaborate together to get progress in that front as well. Defense industry is producing wealth, and we have to be part of that. It's historic that last year the European Investment Bank, for the first time in their history since they were created, they have changed their bylaws, and now they are able to invest in defense projects. So Greece and the European and the National Council will have to align with these strategies, but we also have to take incredibly good care of areas and fields like humanities, creativity and arts, social changes and challenges, and of course the Greek scientific diaspora, that we feel it's absolutely necessary and urgent for things to happen in Greece. And then last week, I'm sorry if I take a little bit more time, we had a huge, in my opinion, announcement by the Prime Minister, You've already heard that in a conference in Athens at Gazi, where a new governmental structure has been proposed by the Prime Minister that for the first time will incorporate higher education, research and innovation in one new ministry. Something that many people in the ecosystem of Greece think that this is vital, this is what should have happened a long time ago, and now hopefully this will bring exactly the energy and the focus we need, education and research centers together. Keep in mind that there is a lot of research infrastructure investment going now into the Ministry of Digital Governance. AI factories, you hear about this, the big microsatellite program of Greece, the first national program for space. And of course, the Hellenic Center for Defense Innovation is operating for a year. So already there are a lot of funds going into defense innovation, and especially for technologies called dual use, technologies that can be used for civil purposes, but also for defense. So this announcement, in my opinion, is huge. It will take a while until it is mature to be voted into the Greek Parliament and the change to take place. Until then, we are going to see very, very interesting developments. The most interesting one, actually, there was an announcement exactly the following day after this one, again by the Prime Minister, where the Hellenic Growth Fund now establishes the national fund that will invest on infrastructure and innovation. And the first projects that they will be investing in is 5G, the 5G ventures. Is going to be Pharos, the first European AI factory in Greece. Defense innovation and all sorts of other projects that are going to start to pile up. So for the first time, the traditional government structures to fund innovation, these are structures that unfortunately failed in the past. This is why we're performing so poorly, are going to be replaced by very agile, very dynamic tools that the Growth Fund knows how to operate and how to use for direct funding for innovation and research. As we speak, even though we find a period of time where grants seems to be draining a little bit from the country, but right now venture capital in Greece has been in levels never known before, which means the opportunity for startups are immense. We are reaching the level of 900 million euros in local national VCs in Greece, and this is attracting more capital money, more capital from Europe and the world. And because he was mentioned about mentality, very, very important, why we are doing poorly in mentality. There is something I'm going to have to keep saying and repeating, because this has to change dramatically. We keep talking about changing the mentality of the researchers, but this is changing. The young people we see today, they're very ready, very open-minded, very ready to get into entrepreneurship. They're there. The government is doing things. What I don't see yet responding as dynamic as they should are the administrations of the public research organizations of Greece, whether universities or research centers. These are very, very conservative approaches. They want to avert anything that has to do with dealing with private investment. They want to avert any risk that can be associated with entrepreneurship efforts. So this is something that the ecosystem needs to work. You know that more than half I think 70% of the Greek public universities do not have a final decision on ownership rights of the IP. We keep talking about patents, and patents is a very expensive, it's a costly sport. It's not only submitting a patent, it's maintaining it, be ready to defend it. So Greek universities, they abstain from deciding whose ownership is this patent. And how do you attract an investor, a private investor, the moment they realize, oh my gosh, if these guys tell me it's theirs and I invest, but then the university may come to three years later and say, no, I have rights there. So this, even though something might be very, very hot, investors will stay away. So these are the kind of mentalities that need to change. The universities and the research centers of Greece, the public ones, in similar fashion like their competitors in North America, now in Europe, in the Nordics, in the UK, in Switzerland, in the Netherlands, they have to realize that their mission is to also create wealth out of the discoveries that take place in their premises. They have to create wealth for themselves, for their people, and for the Greek society that supports them. This is the kind of mentality that will give real substance to what we've had before as technology transfer offices. What are technology transfer offices? These are not just offices to help a researcher submit a patent. These are structures, there are administrative structures that have to help the administrators, they have to help the rectors and the presidents of the research centers to make their organizations create wealth. If we don't see that and we keep, being conservative and keeping distances from anything that has to do with negotiating on closing a deal, innovation needs private investment. It's not public investment. I was very happy to hear the Prime Minister for the first time talking about eneo horo, but he said eneo horo of private and public capital. So this is how we have to create strategies, and this is the goal. By saying, oh my gosh, I don't want my name to be associated with entrepreneurial failure, it has to disappear. We go nowhere from that. And we need administrations in the Greek research organizations that are going to be very aggressive pursuing this. And Professor Lukopoulos knows very, very well exactly what I'm saying. Unfortunately, still, when you discuss with many representatives from the state of Greece or from the ecosystem, and during my tenure at Demokritos, I said that, I'm sorry, I'm going to use a couple of Greek words because it has to be like this. They never say, you negotiate with a private investment or you close a deal. They use the word xepulao. It's important. It's outrageous. You cannot go anywhere when the only word you use to criticize a deal in research and innovation is the word xepulao. For goodness sake. I'm sorry, I took a little bit.
Thank you very much. It is very interesting to explain all about the. Thank you for the news about the research in Greece. And I have for you the second question, if it's possible, not for patents, but it is also important, Dr. Nunesis, who highlighted that the direct transfer of human resources from research centers, from institutes and academia at the universities to industry as an extremely effective technology transfer mechanism that should be highlighted and strengthened and separated.
Yeah.
What is, in your opinion, could be the tool to strengthen this mechanism?
all the measures and the support to bring these communities together in the micro scale, let's say, of a research center such as Demokritos and the campus such as Demokritos. This is about 600 acres at Agea Paraskevi, lovely campus, pretty much like the campus of the University of Patras at Rio, pretty much the same size, maybe a little smaller. Imagine if at this space you bring startups that are free to roam around, they are free to interact with researchers in the in the public laboratories, create collaborations with them, create values, create new ideas, all of them being guided by the campus, by the university or the research center to attract investments, to appeal to globally for their ideas and their innovations, and at the same environment having companies that are big companies in tech, always looking to recruit either talent or basically negotiate and maybe take over the startup company and investors. It's like trying to make a soup and you put in all these ingredients to have a tasty soup. We see, and it's not something special, you know, this is the way to do it. You just bring all the interested stakeholders together and you give them the freedom to interact and to create economic value and to create research discovery. This is the way to go. The falling walls, you know, falling barriers, get these communities to stop being isolated from each other, even in physical spaces. And now, these days, Europe also is a terrain for that, not just at the national level.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Dr. Nounesis. And now, Professor Dr. Vasilis Loukopoulos, the third guest today. It's the least but not last, the last but not the least. Professor Vasilis Loukopoulos is the president now and the CEO of Patras Science Park. He's professor in the Department of Physics at the University of Patras. And he's a director of the postgraduate program in Advanced Studies in Physics. And he has worked as a consultant of the Center in Technological Development of Western Greece, which was a structure of the Ministry of Development. Thank you very much to participate here, Professor Loukopoulos. And please tell us about the innovations development at the Science Park, Patras Science Park, and mainly about the interconnection of research with companies here. And in this phase, to explain the other guests here that it's not only the University of Patras, but it is now here, the Hellenic Open University. We have many labs. We have 22 labs here, and to work about the research, different research programs, and we have patents, etc. And it's very, very useful about to collaborate with this research park. Please.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Professor Ioannis Kalavriotidis and Hellenic Open University for the invitation to participate to this interesting panel. And the Falling Walls Lab Greece. I think that I am in a difficult position to talk after Professor Nounesis. Okay, but I will start. I would like to give some information about Patras Science Park. Patras Science Park was founded in 1989. So Water Science Park has a history of around 40 years. Operates as a public limited company. It is owned by the Greek Ministry of Finance, and Water Science Park is supervised by General Secretariat of Research and Innovation, and it is managed by the board, a board of directors that has 7 members. The innovation is at the heart of Water Science Park, and is the core of our mission. When we say innovation, I mean the idea, I mean a method, a procedure, a product which may be a novel fact for a company. This period, Water Science Park hosted around 40 startup companies which belong to sectors of ICT, information technologies and communication, microelectronics, agri-food, biosciences, and new materials. There are approximately 140 employees at these companies, and the characteristics of them are that they are high education. They have a high education qualifications. I mean that they have a master science degree or a PhD. I have some notes to read to understand what is the Water Science Park. The companies established have registered more than 40 international patents in recent years, have implemented more than 100 research and technological development projects with a total budget of over 80 million euros, and have invested more than 20 million euros in technological equipment. The Water Science Park itself has implemented more than 15 research and development projects, national and European, in the last 5 years. So, there are many actions to support the entrepreneurship and the creation of new startups or spin-off companies. Some of them are that we operate an office for technological transfer and knowledge. We have programs for pre-incubation services, for business incubator, business accelerator. We have run the proof of concept program to support new startups, and operate 6 innovation hubs where the research teams meet the private sector, and there are some collaborative schemes.
One of the most dynamic ecosystems of the country, I have to admit,
Thank you very
recognized by all of us. Yeah, I mean, you have the reputation, especially because of the chips of the Silicon Valley of Greece. That's because you have a lot of companies in the semiconductor sector.
Thank you.
And you're the only place in Greece where a startup that was incubated here in Patras made it all the way to Nasdaq.
Okay. Success stories. It was a good pass. Okay. We can refer good stories for companies like Think Silicon, which was acquired by Applied Materials, Advent Technology, which is listed on the USA Stock Exchange, Divo, which started as Nano Radio and after was acquired by Samsung, Byte Mobile, which was acquired by Citrix, Helbio, Atmel, Elas, and more recently FEAC, Irida, and others, many others companies which we can refer as success stories. Okay, I think that.
Thank you very much.
It's a very dynamic startup that's
Yeah.
making quite a career now in the defense industry as well.
It's a theme that I want to discuss after the panel. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Lukopoulos. We had much more time. But I ask you the last question. In Greece, last years, we have a very successful and good organized a good conference, maybe Patras IQ. Yes. And now to start again after 2 years, maybe in this November. What exactly does it aim it, and if to believe that it has helped innovation in Western Greece and maybe in all the other countries?
Exactly, Patras IQ is one of the most important events for the Western Greece and the Greece. I remember that I would like to remember that there is a scheme for different organizations like as Ministry of Development, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education and Religious and Sports, Religious Affairs and Sports, the region of Western Greece, the University of Patras, the Hellenic Open University, the Achaia Chamber of Commerce. Okay. What is the aim? This event acts as a meeting point of researchers, entrepreneurs, students, policymakers, investors. In this way, okay, now there is an invitation. Yes. Okay. That's news. Okay. So, no, I have through words. Okay. Patras IQ aims to develop and strengthen the cooperation of the research community with the productive sector, benefiting the citizens of the region in the following ways. First, the application of research and innovation in the productive industry creates new competitive products, generates new needs, and ultimately creates new jobs. The new jobs provide income to the region and multiplying benefits to the national economy. Second, the attraction of investors from Greece and abroad who can invest in our region productively and with services, utilizing the products of knowledge, resulting in an increase in the competitiveness of the local and national economy with all the positive results that this will have. The exhibition of Patras IQ include the exhibition and models of innovative research products, the presentation of applied research, speeches by founders of startups and innovative small and medium-sized enterprises, speeches on issues of knowledge transfer, intellectual property, and fighting resources for to finance the conversion of innovative ideas into products. Researchers will present to the productive sector and investor major research results that have the potential to be exploited productively and commercially. Accordingly, problems faced by the productive sector can be discussed and the researchers and with researchers and solutions to be proposed. That is the aim of
Yeah. Thank you very much for these answers. Somewhere, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere here the time we have at our disposal ends. Let me thank you warmly for your participation in our discussion. Emerita Professor Vasokidi, Dr. Nounesis, Professor Loukopoulos, for your participation in our discussion today. Let us now give the panel the competitive process that we are expert. Thank you very much to all.